while, and it just keeps on leveling up in this way.
And it will continue to level up as we move through this tournament too. Get it on the big stage. The stakes will get higher, and the stakes have never been higher in TFT, with $500,000 on the line, along with the club points that each of these organizations really want. And so as we transition here into our first game of round 3, we have once again all of our friends choosing the same portal for each team.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, right? You want to be on the same page. I want to grief each other. You're going to have your portals that you discuss, and you're like, all right, should we go to this one, this one? No, I think this one suits our game plan a bit more. So, absolutely love that. What portal did we actually... I was yapping. What portal did we actually land on?
Yeah, I was yapping too and looking at
well,
some of my data here. So, you know, it'll be a surprise.
It's going to be a surprise. That is okay. We'll see when that does come into fruition here. But G2 as well here did get second in the Reckoning World Championship, has been competing in TFT for very, very early on, right? Just that one Worlds appearance, but it was a very, very strong one. And there's so much talent in China, right? So it's very hard to be a kind of repeat Worlds attender in that region, right? Xiaozhe being the only repeat Worlds representative out of the squad, even though they're all just such good players.
Yeah, they've consistently individually reached the heights of TFT greatness in past sets, and so now early in set 12, looking to try to put it together for a good run here at EWC. I always love watching China, watching some people dive into VODs from Chinese competitive series, and so I'm also very excited to watch them live here today.
Yeah, definitely. I think a big thing is that players look to the meta that forms in China and say, okay, it's very different, but it works well. So what are they doing right? Maybe the past few sets, it's like, okay, maybe China meta doesn't just the best meta, but surely it's going to be something a little bit different than the rest. I'm sure they still have, you know, Syndra prepared. I'm sure they still have this, you know, reroll on lock and, you know, level 8 boards like that Karma Fiora, but what else are they going to bring to the table? Is there going to be some like crazy reroll comp that we haven't seen before? I think it is likely to come out from a squad such as Team Falcons.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will see our first augment choice here being a silver augment, so not something super impactful, but some of the best ones being shown here. Stationary Support 1 is the highest performing augment in stats, but Iron Assets really helps get that early game streak going, but they will go for the late game potential in that Stationary Support.
Yeah, I know a couple gold came through there, so it looks like, I forget the name, but it's that portal that gives... Is loot subscription? I don't know. Gives gold to everybody.
Gold subscription. Yeah,
that gold subscription. Yeah, that one. Gives gold to everybody at the start of each stage. So we get that underway. We do have a player going for Tiny Titans. Something that I guess I haven't quite seen too much of. The usage, the stats aren't great on it comparatively to other silver augments. But, 30 HP is 30 HP.
I want to call out, too, that we have Here We Go taking that Pandora's Bench augment that we've seen many people use in the past few games as something to help them find what they're looking for, reroll the units that they're hoping to get. We did see Alan try to go for that 3-star Gwen, couldn't quite hit, but will be something that to keep our eye on to see if there's any crazy 3-stars happening from Here We Go.
Definitely. I can also just say that Alan made the energy really, really good with that interview. Like, he was really hyped about the format, about the game. Obviously, he won, so he's excited, right? But he was just like, oh, this format's so good. There's a lot of really cool moments that, like, you know, just shout out to Alan for that one here. But moving into this game, we see a similar style with that Pandora's Bench coming into play. Maybe going to be seeing some crazy 3-stars come out because of that, as we do have, you know, just a couple first rounds being played, but Falcons winning 3 out of the 4 rounds for that team.
Yeah, Falcons established themselves on the top, at least for now. We're going to have lots of multi-striker players. I always want to say multicaster because that's just burned in my memory.
With trade of sets past. Yep.
It haunts me still. It's fine. We'll get over it someday.
Maybe someday. I just say like multis because, like, yeah, that's what I said back in multicasters too, but it still applies here. So like, yeah, it's just multis. They're just the same thing, right? They do the thing a lot of times, being it either auto attack or cast a lot. But yeah, same thing, Copium.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Anyway, Prismatic Finale is our portal, which we
Oh,
missed
it
in
is.
the
Okay.
game. So
Gotcha.
not much change until then, but we will know we will end with a bang, something that will alter the way this late game works.
Let's see here. We have an early Syndra, of course, a couple Witchcraft and early upgrades from the Poppy and the Zoe. 10 gold as well. And up against Yugal from Navi on the other side here. Yugal, a player that I don't know too much of, besides the fact that they are one of the players from Navi who have that one Worlds, one time that they've been to Worlds, got 20th in Remix Rumble, and didn't really have too great of an Inkborn Fable set, but hopefully they're back now for this set here and able to make it happen here yet again.
I mean, clearly they're good at the game because they already have a Syndra on their board, which is an excellent thing here in set 12. You see Crazy Moving also with that, which is Worry, by the way, with the name swap to Crazy Moving.
Gotcha.
So we'll keep an eye on them as well under this new name.
Yeah, Crazy Moving. They are moving crazy here towards the bottom of the standings, at least right now, but not going to be here for a while. Actually, a little bit of choice paralysis here. Not figuring out, not choosing what they want to take until the other next couple of players have already chosen, but it will just be a Hui with a rod at the end of the day. But Jipok has the spatula, and that's going to be a big question mark of where that ends up.
Yeah, spatulas are the crazy thing in this game that can absolutely open up some absolute crazy verticals and different comps happening here. And I want to call out as well that as we look across our lobby, we're seeing that a very important thing in this game, that Team Falcons has matching Little Legends. And so it's very easy to tell on Carousel who is who, and I appreciate that.
I actually did not notice that. That's some crazy team synergy that I don't know if anybody else will in fact do. I'm very attached to Little Legend that I use personally. I don't know if I'd want to swap it up just for the squad. Like, I wouldn't be that guy to be like, nah, I'm sticking with mine, but like, I don't know. I guess they're all synergy. They're on lock.
Yeah, 4v4 is probably the only excuse I would have to change off Hexful Umbra. That is my guy, and I don't play anything different.
That's fair. I'm a Melisma enjoyer myself. Little baggy sweatshirt, headphones on, just jamming. I know replays a Melisma enjoyer as well. Won Worlds with that Little Legend, so and that's a good track record.
We don't want to mess with all the Dango enjoyers. I do know that.
Oh yeah, sure. We do not want to mess with them. They
we
are
love
crazy.
Them. Dango is a great Little Legend. Don't hurt me.
Please don't come after us. We love Dango. We do. We truly do. Oh boy.
Yeah, Malala and Wasian represent the Dango as well with how good they are, and so
very true.
We'll let them carry that crown.
Gonna put some respect on the name there, and we have the Mentorship 1 here as the choice for Ugul, a Syndra with Rage Blade, and actually keep us on their side here. I think this set specifically, Silver Augments have been the augments I have to like reassess the power of with the units that are in this set, with all the new augments as well, right? It's like, okay, I usually would click this one in the past, but actually you can get a lot of values of things like Keepers, you can get a lot of values of things like Mentorship as well. Yeah. So interesting to see these players kind of have that same kind of approach as well.
Yeah, we see some of those performing the best in the stats as well. I do want to call out that we have 2 loss streakers throughout stage 2, one from each team, and a win streaker from Navi. Sasangyo at the top of that leaderboard there. Zhaozha did take Tiny Titans, so has that 120 HP at the top of the leaderboard currently.
Yeah, it did take a couple of losses into the neutrals. Got an Archangel Slam for Song Yup here very early, and that's very interesting commitment. What do you think that kind of is likely to lead into? Is that indicative of anything so far?
I don't really know. I know Rise is good with Archangels, but I'm curious to know if they meant to slam Sojin and did not.
Surely it wasn't a misclick in stage 2 of your first game at the Esports World Cup. Like no one would do that, right?
But I don't know, man. That would be a more flexible item in my opinion.
It would definitely be a more flexible item, which maybe Navi is cooking up some spice here. Maybe this Katarina is going to stick on the board. I haven't really seen anything about Katarina reroll so far. Archangels definitely, like you say, I think Rise might be one of the only ones. Xerath as well, but that's like 4 and 5 cost units. We're not at that point in the game yet.
I know. Where's our Syndra? Like, that's the point of the game we're still at, is who can get Syndra 2 fastest. And it is not on the other side. We have not rolled down for that Syndra 2 quite yet, but they do have that Syndra with Rage Blade, getting as many stacks as possible for crazy moving over there. We have these silver augments now, but looking forward to our next augment coming up here. And I want to go back a little bit to your point of how much these silver augments actually do influence the game, even though they are the lesser of the tier.
Yeah, definitely. Tiny Titans, right? 30 HP. Pandora's Bench, you can get some crazy 3-stars out of it. Or you can just get some good early game to try to continue a streak. And we actually have another silver tier augment. Talking about all these blistering strikes is one that I personally enjoyed clicking a lot in the past. It's like, okay, it doesn't look very flashy, it doesn't look very like cool, but it's still strong. Getting that anti-heal, getting a little bit of that extra value out of your units auto attacking. That's exactly what Here We Go thinks as well.
And he's rolling for Syndra here, looks like trying to find that here early. We'll be re-rolling the Nunu as well. And Navi, Yogo able to hit that now. So this is very interesting. We have two people playing a very similar strategy here, going for Syndra using that Pandora's Bench.
Yep. Rolling at level 6, I think, is going to be the name of the meta, unless you're going a very specific reroll strategy. You want to stabilize at level 6, right? If your Syndra is better than the other person's Syndra, if you hit your 2-star frontline unit like Yugul did as well with that Mordekaiser 2, you're going to be that much stronger. Look at the other side here. It is an upgraded frontline unit with the Shyvana 2, but it's just a Syndra 1.
Yeah, I mean, in the Malphite flying in there with 5 Eldritch makes this board pretty significantly strong, even though you don't have some of those other pieces in on this board. Because that CC coming through and the damage from that Malphite, able to get a big win here versus the person with Tiny Titans on the other side. And so we will continue. Man, we did get one Syndra here for Here We Go to start stacking it, but they are down way low on gold.
Yeah, that Cassio 2 is turned into a Syndra 1, but again, that's just going to be strong enough. Maybe when these units re-roll from the Pandora's Bench and we see more Syndras, hopefully cross our fingers, come through, then that will be very, very good for Here We Go. Did actually take the charm. I was actually about to, bring that up. It's like, is that worth it? 1 HP for 2 gold. Generally, I would say yes.
Early in the game for sure, right? Like, because that 2 gold can hit those breakpoints that are just incredibly important. You see Syndra falling down, which I'm sure they're not happy about.
Yeah, it's going to call you one with no items. I hate to see that one.
That was terrible. But I do think that 1 HP, sacrificing that early in the game for possible interest breakpoints is quite important. And we see here Crazy Moving, who's also playing Syndra, finally take a win here, breaking that 7-loss streak, and now looking for an item that will help them get to continue that win streak.
Absolutely. The 4 costs in this carousel aren't too exciting, but Here We Go does go Olaf. Might just be for the sword, however. Might to perhaps go double Shojin on that Syndra. That is a very good combination of items still, even though double Rage Blade or, Rage Blade plus a Gnasher's Tooth, it pairs with that Shojin very well, but double Shojin still solid.
The more mana, the better, and so we will see that come through here for Crazy Moving. Now having rings. Where did that come from?
Wait, huh? Maybe it's a visual bug, graphical error. Wait.
Oh no! It's that item thing.
Okay.
You get a unique item each round. I was like, what is happening? I have not clicked that argument, so.
Me neither. So I'm like, wait, I looked like fine vintage, to be honestly. I was like, wait, but no.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be.
It's a good augment because you get a free full item from a silver augment, which I feel looks pretty good, but it also changes every single round. But it will be very helpful here for Crazy Moving because he did have that Sojin last round that won him the round, and now with this Rudy's Hurricane, just a little bit more attack speed to get more stacks.
It is Item Ladder, by the way, is the name of the augment. I feel like I've seen that, and I just like scroll past it. I'm like, nah, this sucks. Like, I don't want this, and so I just never look at it. Because it is a random Yeah, just random item.
I'm like, this is stressful. I don't want to have to be worrying about this every round. But he keeps rolling Biss for now rolling one of the best items again for this Syndra, which is pretty good. It looks like they might be playing a Witchcraft variant as well, as they slot in that Fiora here early. And we do have a Witchcraft emblem here for Jipo, and I'm not quite even sure where that came from. That was from that spatula on the first carousel, yeah?
Yeah, I believe so, actually. Jipo with 4 Witchcraft here, 3 Portal is going to put that on the rise just for now. It does probably want to find its way onto a Karma a bit later, as we have Shojin and Morello's there, but this is a solid early game board. Or I guess mid game at this point. It is going to be a 3 loss streak. Meanwhile, there's a Kassadin 2 on the other side of the board here that is pretty terrifying. Look at all that shielding that happens when the Archangels is stacked up on the Kassadin.
Oh,
Does get taken down there though. If just one more cast came out, would have been a Kassadin win, but no.
wow.
Jupo snaps the loss streak going into Wolves.
And I believe that Rise is a really good carrier of this Witchcraft emblem, because it does apply to so many units on the board. And we do see Xiaojia going with the Kog'Maw reroll that we saw was very heavily contested last series with Dish Soap and friends that were holding all of those from him. And so lots and lots of rerollers in this lobby.
Extremely contested, right? There was, 2 Cog players for 2 of the games, players denying them all around. Looks like there's multiple Kassadin players for this game, however. Ice being one of the multi-strikers, having the Rage Blade plus the Bloodthirster. Edge of Night, perhaps the final item there. 2 shop rerolls, that is good.
We'll see a lot of roll downs happen across this lobby here, hoping to hit their upgrades, holding Syndras so that other people don't hit, but trying their best to upgrade their board as much as possible to get them set up for late game.
Yeah, Ice run down to 30 here, trying to find more Kassadins. Did not find a single one, however, but is maybe going for Hecarim 3. Here we go. Hitting a very early Galio 3, and that's a big Vanguard front line to give Syndra some time, but it's just one copy of Syndra, Sealy.
That's what I'm saying. This is when you say in chat, how did I hit Galio 3 before Syndra 2?
Yeah.
And we know why. It's because everyone else is playing the Syndra unit as well. But Galio 3 is definitely not a bad thing to have on your board. They're just hoping that maybe this Pandora's Bench will roll them what they need.
Yeah, if that Kassadin 2 becomes a Syndra, like boom, okay, you just swap it. Actually, do you swap it in there? Because then that Syndra wouldn't have any stacks. I guess you really wouldn't. You just want your other ones to roll into it instead, so you can upgrade the unit as opposed to replacing it.
Yeah. Ooh, and the Prismatic Finale is here. We will have a lot of great options. Call to Chaos is my current favorite. But Witchcraft Crown gives +2 Witchcraft to this board. They take Call to Chaos, though, and get an incredible amount of gold. So they'll be heading to level 8, getting a lot of gold that they need for this roll down, hitting that Fiora 2 already, just looking for that Karma specifically to cap out this board.
Crazy Moving didn't even think about it for that long, right? It's like, oh, Call to Chaos, I'm down with whatever it brings. Oh, a lot of gold? Bet. I'm going to send it right now. So I think that's some of the most intention I've seen out of a player in kind of, I would say, that not standard of a situation. And we get some good upgrades coming through here.
Yep.
We get the Fiora 2. Now we get the Callista 2 online as well. Fishbone's on the bench. This is kind of exactly what wanted to happen for Crazy Moving. A lot of gold spent in such a low time. That APM was kind of crazy there.
Yeah, it is playing the Callista variant of this composition with that Rage Blade is quite good. The Fishbones is a very good item on this Callista, able to apply more spears across the board as well. And so lots of 2-stars coming through. This should stabilize Crazy Moving for a long time in this game. They exactly knew what they wanted, and I think they got what they were hoping for from that Call to Chaos, which was a ton of gold.
Yeah, that was actually perfectly well played by Crazy Moving. This is going to be something that should be in the highlight package for sure at the end of the game, because that rolled down, while not being super flashy and like a fight win or anything like that, it does dictate Crazy Moving snapping, this loss streak and perhaps going on a big win streak from here on out.
Yeah, we see a lot of Syndra 2s coming through. Kitu is playing that Shapeshifter variant of Syndra, which we don't see as often anymore, but was very dominant on the first couple days of this patch. And so it's very clear that Syndra is still a lot of people's comfort zone, but we have a Rise 2 with
Wow.
Witchcraft Emblem on the other side, but not a lot of other upgrades as this line is contested.
Yeah, Jipo over there, Rise 2, some good items on it. Rage Blade, right, stacks when you're casting very, very quickly, so you're able to get up to that second cast very fast. And it's going to be enough for a round win here.
Round win coming through. Kitsu taking a big loss here. Looking at the scoreboard on the side heading into this carousel, it is now quite even going down the lobby here. Quite a good spread of each team with different win streaks and lose streaks happening. But Navi, having one player on 4 lose streak and another player on a 4 win streak, has kind of some direction here in this mid game.
Yeah, definitely taking a look at the boards at the bottom of the screen, right? Song Yup going to be still on those multi-strikers, but only casted in 2, right? Pandora's. However, maybe they're able to hit those 3 stars, hit those upgrades in just a little bit. Really needs to be considering that. And rolls into a Kog'Maw, but not the Kassadin that he needs.
Yeah, but it has a good setup to get that casting that they need, which is uncontested in this lobby. Not something that we've seen a lot for Kassadin so far. We've seen lots and lots of people trying to play it. And has fairly good augments for this as well with the keepers and then the extra resistances from this immovable object, which is one of the highest performing augments in the game right now.
Oh yeah, I never hate clicking that. It always feels good. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna be tankier. I don't have to mess up my positioning that much either, right? Because of the extra range on that Randuin's, it does feel very, very good. However, I think the big question is Kassadin 2 strong enough right now? The Syndra is on the Kassadin. Oh, the shields are big though.
Shields are massive. The Syndra has been casting a ton, but the shield comes through once again and did not bring the Kassadin down until now. This Syndra 2 now on the other side is showing that it can be quite strong.
Kassadin? Nope. A Syndra that we get rolled into. Hey, Syndra 2, that's a good unit, right? No, not for Sung Yup, unfortunately. 5 multis online, but pushing levels though, I think that is the correct choice to just send levels, try to find that Camille, try to hit the 7 multis and allow that Pandora's Bench to give you your Kassadin 3 instead. I do really think that that is the correct choice in this situation.
Man, I'm surprised that Here We Go is still rolling here on level 7 and not going to level 8 where you can slot in that Vex that will give you Chrono plus Mage. So electing instead to reroll here for some of those frontliners.
Yeah, we're rolling, trying to get the Rumble 3, trying to get the Mord 3 as well, but not on any gold at this point. Tahm Kench 2 is a big powerful frontline unit though, and the Syndra, you know, is Syndra, so strong enough at this point in the game.
And we do have Navi players dropping down to the bottom now, but able to find that Nami that they were looking for, upgrading that unit that is incredibly powerful with the CC, and even as a secondary carry oftentimes. But for Team Navi, we now have the bottom 2 spots occupied by their teammates and need to start to figure it out, especially if you're saying, yo, what is going to be the plan here if you can't hit that Kassadin 3?
Yeah, if no Kassadin 3, then I guess you just kind of, you know, just like, all right, Mort Dog, I guess you wanted to screw me over this game. But no, I think gonna be leveling to 8, rolling down pretty heavily in just this next round. Still no Kassadin being rolled there.
Yeah,
yes, level 8 comes through.
It's really unfortunate to have to roll here for this Kassadin, especially when you don't have the bench space to really afford. Here's one more Kassadin now onto the bench here, but that is still 2 away from where they need to be.
Yeah, and do you just prioritize rolling 5 costs? And it looks like the answer is yes for Songyeo here. Because Camille is just going to provide so much more power on this board. 7 multi-striker compared to 5 is so huge, but this is the other multi-striker board here at Kassadin 3 on the other side.
You know, I had forgotten this board existed, and this makes a lot more sense now why we are in this spot that we are in for Sasangyo, not able to quite get where they need to because their unit is contested, the one that they need. But the rest of this board is pretty strong, but not able to quite bring down the perfect item casted in on the other side from Ice. And so this is looking like it might be an 8th here.
Yeah, it was actually a closer round than I had thought, but yeah, Songyok still needs one of these to roll into a Camille. Does not happen. Does get the dragon, however. That is solid.
One more round.
Yeah, did sell off the 5 cost, so really is just banking on this Cassidy right now.
Yeah, the roll down happening and not finding any more copies of Cassidy quite yet. Does slot a 5 cost back into that Pandora's bench spot, but no upgrades for the Callista either. Holding on to some of those other units on bench to maybe try to hit Nikali 3 as a bailout as well, but that is not in the cards.
Yeah, meanwhile on the other side, Xiaozhe is going to be our Kog'Maw reroller. Hit Kog 3, hit Tristan as well as Rumble. No Nunu, but that's fine. The Rumble is still very, very strong, very tanky. Is the dragon enough where Songyok can survive though? The Kassadin is just not enough. It gets torn down, and Xiaozhe is going to eliminate Songyok here.
Man. Yeah, very clearly this was just not the game for Songyok. Being contested by Ice, not finding what they're looking for, just is a sad game for them.
Yeah, unfortunate there, but Na'Vi does take 8th, but they still have a player with Jippo in 1st place currently. 8 win streak with this witchcraft style. We have so many. We actually have 8 witchcraft online with 2 emblems and had found a Morgana. That is all you need, and this is a very, very strong composition.
Yeah, very strong with 8 witchcraft. The max amount of witchcraft that you can get on this board. So the max amount of debuffs coming through. And there's a reason they are on this 8 win streak. It's because this board is good. This board is quite powerful. And so we'll see the power on display here. The debuffs going across the front line, shredding them and burning them for a while. But until Rise casts again, it's going to be very difficult to kill anything else. But will now cast and hit onto the back line. And the win streak will continue.
Yeah, I feel like I'm saying this a lot of these fights, but that was, you know, again, a lot closer than I expected. The front line didn't quite have as much staying power. Wow, actually, Here we go. Gets taken out barely. In 7th. Another witchcraft on a Karma, too. Wow.
Holy moly. That could swing fights. I know somebody else is playing witchcraft, too. Crazy Moving was. So if Crazy Moving is able to grab that, that could be... Oh, looks like they do not want it. Instead, they're going to go for that BT. Na'Vi needs to recover the bottom of their leaderboard. Crazy Moving, though, is on a 4 win streak at the bottom. But again, Team Falcons is currently up a point.
Okay, yeah. If the standings like end as they are right now, right? If Na'Vi get 3 bottom 4s, that will be just an automatic loss. They need one of these players, right, to get into that top 4. Crazy Moving on a win streak as well. Look at Yugul rolling it down for the Syndra 3. Not hitting though.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there
Syndra
it is.
3 comes through for Yugul. Able now to hopefully turn that into a win streak. Has that Radiant item on board that provides a lot of mana passively alongside of this attack speed that'll continue to ramp up. But that is a Swain 3 on the other side with a 2-star Karma as well. With 6 Shapeshifter? Yeah, this is a very, very large Swain.
That Swain is massive, and Luden's Karma as well. That's a lot of damage that she is pumping out. There is that Radiant item for Yugul, but yeah, it's just not quite enough. A big loss there for Yugul. Crazy Moving actually took a loss as well. Oh no. Could just be game over in the next round here.
Yeah, if both of these participants from Team Na'Vi drop out in the bottom 4, that does mean Team Falcons will take the first round win. But Jipo at the top is giving their best effort to keep them in this game. They have themselves set up to possibly even win this game. Level 8, 57 gold, the only player in this lobby with gold in pocket. But Team Falcons knows what's at stake here. They know they just need to knock out Team Na'Vi. And this could be it here facing the Kassadin 3.
100%. It could be it. Kassadin 3 from Ice. The double treasury on the Jax as well. But wow, the Akali in the back line just makes quick work.
That was absolutely disgusting. You see it on his face there. knowing what is the reality of the situation. Because they have now gone 8th and 6th, they need to go 1st and 3rd, and that will not happen.
No.
Crazy moving also out.
Yeah, Falcons just takes it. That's already game number 1 here. Oh boy, wow. I expected for that to be a little bit closer, right? Especially with the win streak that Crazy Moving was on for so long, right? Thought that he would be able to break into that kind of top 4 situation, but Zhao Zhe, right, with the Kalma reroll, very, very strong. Chi2 with a good Syndra board, right? Ice with the multi-strikers and making them work out super, super well. Some great preparation and great execution by this Team Falcons squad here in game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, this is a little bit of what we expected. We knew Team Falcons was absolutely dominant. And, Jipo did take a loss there too, so he clearly has some sort of flaws in his board that Team Falcons is looking to even take the top spot in this lobby from Navi here as a little dagger at the end of this.
Yeah, I don't think that 8 Witchcraft is unbeatable. And Xiaozhe just hits the Nunu 3 as well to add insult to injury for Fairy. Yeah, Jipo does have that Karma 2 online.
Man, this board looks really good. It's just a lack of frontline that's the problem.
Yeah, frontline only a Nico 2 with 1 item. Rakan 2 with a temporary Dragon's Claw. As soon as that front line falls, it's just, lights out for the back line. It is strong enough in this round, however.
I think you really need that Morgana too, the survivability that Morgana provides, and they have that duplicator on bench as well to get it as soon as they find another copy. But their level 9, 10 gold has not been able to find what they're looking for.
Yeah, what a board by Chi2 as well. The recognition of the HP that Shapeshifters does give, and then has the augment, right, that increases the max HP, just flat number and percentage number as well. Really, really strong recognition of how that Swain is pretty much unkillable.
Yeah, that really pushed that board into what it is now. Having that 3-star Swain that gets, thousands of HP, especially when it casts, is going to be absolutely massive. And so for Jipo here, trying their best to see if they can pull out a win, but Kitu on a 4-round win streak on the other side. So it will be hard for Jipo to win this game. But this fight's looking pretty good for them as well. This Rise is doing quite a bit of damage.
Actually, the trench coat on the Fiora, they're making all those little Fioras, and then they got to, curse and CC, or curse, curse and CC the backline. Actually made the fight difference there, maybe.
Absolutely. Yeah, Kitu's still on that win streak. Ice down to 1 HP. Kitu's starting to feed his Briar some of those treats in order to get even more HP on this board.
Yeah, this is crazy. 50
One of my favorite things about this set is that you can actually kill yourself using that. So just be beware.
Definitely be wary. There are a couple things you can do that. A couple of charms, as well as that mechanic as well. So,
I just love that they keep it instead of just saying, like, you can't do that.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, if you click that, that's just your bad at the end of the day. Like, I can't save you from yourself.
It's just, I love that. The TFT team does have a sense of humor for sure.
Oh, yeah. Jipo here. Kali gets into the back line, but gets dealt with very easily, in fact.
3 Witchcraft spats, who knew? That would be really good. It looks like an excellent board here, but I'm curious to see in the 1v1 who actually will come out on top. And it looks like Ikitsu took a loss.
Yeah. Took a loss here. 8 HP single digit. Let's see. Nothing super crazy on this carousel. No strong emblems. Just that Honeymancer. Jipo going for Hand of Justice. Chita with a Ionic Spark. As we get the dual screen here, what charms are each player going to go for here? Forge and Remover. Yeah, not great.
Had anything of substance here. Maybe we'll go for that Dragon's Claw, which will help against this board, but not do too much.
No, nothing crazy here. But D-Claw
Morgana 2
on a Nasus. Ooh, Morgana 2 is a big upgrade for Jipo.
With the healing also is quite good, hoping that this Morgana can pretty much carry this front line here. Does position it right in front of the Syndra, so we'll be taking aggro here early from one of the main damage dealers and as well as the Swain over there. but also the bats not quite reaching that back line, so not what they're looking for in that regard. But now it's just Swain, Syndra, and Karma versus the world. Everything else has fallen on the other side, and as they ascend, so will G-Poke to take that game win, but it will not be enough for Navi here. Will not be able to take game 1 win.
Yeah, G-Post be like, all right, team, I did my job. What about oh, wait a minute, you guys went bot 4. Ooh, unlucky. But no, well played by G-Po there to be able to close out that game for a win, even though it is an overall Team Falcons win on that game. Very, very well done, and perhaps helped out by Coach Flancy, of course, one of the best players in China, being a coach for that squad, like I mentioned a bit earlier. Really starting off strong here in game number 1.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of the strategy really come through. We're seeing basically 2 kinds of team plans happen. The first or 8th play, which we saw Navi try to play there, wasn't quite able to get that other person into the top 4, or just like the solid middle ground play that we see a lot of the re-rollers playing as if they work well together as a team in that regard. The Team Falcons pulled off excellently there and was able to get them that win.
Yeah, definitely. Also, something that I wanted to touch upon is the prioritization of players of a lot of regions, actually, with Pandora's bench, right? You can make that work out with, going to push levels to 8 and getting your 4 cost, or even when re-rolling 2 costs as well. It's all very good.
And as we head over to look at the highlights, seeing some of these important moments from the game, we see our low roller go out in 8th place. They're not able to hit that Cassid in 3 because they were contested, alongside some of these other who we did see. Here we go out in 7th place, which kind of opened the door for Navi.
They opened the door for Navi, but they weren't quite able to capitalize. You go as well, right? The Akali getting to the back line, I think, was really, really the big detriment in that fight. And that just goes to show you got to be very wary of your positioning, right? There are backline threats, and Akali is one of them. Fiora, obviously another one that's very heavily played right now too, so got to be wary of those.
Yeah, and we do see some of these final fights coming through here. We see Ice getting eliminated by 8 Witchcraft and the 3 Witchcraft emblems that came with it. And so that did prove to be the strongest comp in this lobby, but not from the strongest team, sadly. So that will be Team Falcons taking the game 1 win and celebrating that they're having a really fun time playing at EWC.
Yeah, as soon as they realized they'd won, they're all smiles over there, cheering, having a very, very good time. They're like, okay, we don't need to win this game. It's okay. You can have your lobby win. We got the game win overall. That is enough for us. But Navi looking, focused, looking stressed, right? Just one more loss and you get sent into that lower bracket. We've stressed about how important getting that first match win is when it comes to this format at the EWC. So really gonna be looking to take this series to at least into a game 3.
Yeah, and Team Falcons will be taking that first game win and hoping to close it out in 2 games. And we will be back with that second game after this short break to see if they can do so.
You ever wondered how a Hollywood movie is shot? On a Sony. You review it on a Sony. And how do you make that sound epic? You record it on a Sony. Lunch break on a Sony. So why wouldn't you watch it on a Bravia by Sony?
Here we go with game number 2. You see what I did there? Here we go. The player for Team Falcons. Yeah,
I was like, wait, what
they
about them? What about
dominated
them?
in game number 1. Here we go is definitely looking for a comeback here in game number 2 after taking that 7th, but their team was able to clutch it out for him. So no worries from him.
Yeah, I'd still be saying here we go about that too. It's like, hey, I go 7th, my team won the game, so that's all I need. That is feeling pretty good still, given that this is a Team 4 match, but some dominance out of Team Falcons. Potentially going to be doing it here again. Na'Vi showed a little bit of promise, right? There was Jipo at the end there with a lot of good stuff with that 8 Witchcraft board. It takes, you know, a lot to get there, but as soon as you're presented with those emblems, actually had the Rise carry for the whole entire game, which did seem very, very strong. But you gotta have more moments like that across the whole squad.
Yeah, I mean, they need a big comeback there, but they did show that they can win games, right? Like, they have the skill in their back pocket in order to cap out boards, in order to compete with some of the best players across all of TFT and from this Chinese team and from Team Falcons, a team that clearly wants to win, has signed some of the best players in the world to try and take that crown for themselves.
100%. I think a squad like Team Falcons would be pretty disappointed if they didn't at least make it into, you know, the finals, let alone win the whole event. I think looking at the caliber of player here, they're aiming obviously just for the top. Anything less than that would be, you know, just not good enough. There's definitely a lot of pressure on these players amongst every single team because everyone wants to chase that win, right? Wants to chase that first place. But only one team can make it there out of 16, right? We have so many players here, Sealy, so much talent, and Team Falcons and Na'Vi, there's a little piece of this big picture.
Yeah, I mean, the best players across the globe, so many World Championship appearances and World Championship titles from these teams, including one of the coaches from Team Falcons. And so they are just hoping to continue to ride their momentum and hopefully put the foot on the gas to hopefully get themselves to that quick sweep of the series.
Definitely. Got to see what Na'Vi is cooked up to in order to get their match win. But just one game they need first. We got all smiles and thumbs up here for the Falcons squad.
Man, this is the clear visual difference of winning game 1 versus not winning game 1. Team Falcons is having a blast, chatting, smiling, thumbs upping. The other team sitting there, chatting quietly, thinking about what they can do better.
Yeah.
So
Maybe they're
as we
feeling a little
load
bit
into
too
game
loose.
here, we're going to see if they can make the comeback.
Yeah, definitely. All smiles versus very focused. But of course, once we, now that we're in this game, of course, Team Falcons is going to be all focus. And we'll see what portal they pick at the last second here. Boom, boom. Yep. Going to be Radiant Blessing versus Prismatic Finale. No one wants the Artifact Anvil. In fact, will be Radiant Blessing.
Man, this is one of my favorite ones, especially in this team format where you can send someone down to the depths to check what it is. Send them to 40 HP and see what is waiting for them at the Blessing to see how you want to play this game.
True. Sometimes, in my games, someone hits 40 HP. I'm like, oh wait, I forgot to scout what the blessing was, right? But
I missed it.
You got 4 players. Yeah, someone's gonna be gonna know what that blessing is and able to tell the rest of the team. Got a couple of 2-costs here for Jipo between Ari and that Akali. Akali is a very interesting early game unit if you're itemizing her, right? She can pop off, but sometimes can kind of just like int and troll. So
Right.
It's a little weird here. Maybe not what players are going to prioritize at the end of the day, but still a consideration.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're gonna see Zoe reroll for one of the first times today. Has 3 out of the 4 of those rerolled units on his board or bench currently. So just needs a bunch of tiers in order for that to be enabled. So we'll get a few more gold and a bow, which is not a tier. So we will see if that is even consideration.
Well, nay, Nashers, that's one of the important items. So even if the last item isn't a tier here, I think that still can be a consideration, but also could just be, slam a Nashers for tempo, play around an AP line. It's such a strong, AP meta right now that items like Nashers almost never feel bad to slam.
Absolutely. Nashers is definitely one of the most slammed items. And Crazy Moving again has this Syndra early here. Able to get a bunch of stacks here early. Stack each fight at least. Has a lot of these 2 costs on the board. Curious if he'll make gold here, but instead is going to buy up a lot of these units. And we will have our first augment being gold. So a little bit more influence happening from these augments even early in this game.
Yeah, just a little bit. We got Spoils of War, Magic Wand, or Double Down. Double Down isn't one that I've seen, prioritized that much this set so far. Magic Wand, however, no, but we re-roll it. Witchy Wallop, Spoils of War. I think it will be Spoils, and yes, it is going to be.
I mean, we have another Syndra over here for Here We Go with a Shapeshifter start with some of the components for some really good items too. So we'll probably slam that Nashers, I imagine, and we're looking for that Sojourn as soon as possible. Or Rageblade, yeah.
Yeah, actually has all of that. Rageblade probably a little bit better because you leave a belt open for frontline, which, if you get the rod, it's like, okay, maybe I want that to be a Rageblade eventually anyway. I'm Orionic Spark, but yeah, it is the Rageblade Slam. In fact, the belt is going to be on the bench for now, though.
How many people are playing Syndra, man? Now we have Yugo on the other side with learning to spell Syndra also. And so we will be having, I think everyone we've observed so far in this game has had a Syndra.
That is pretty crazy, but also with just having a Syndra, Yugo has a good front line with 3 upgraded frontline units, which is very, very nuts at this point in the game.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, and Here We Go took the augment that gives them bows, and so they will be getting more and more bows. They'll get 1 more throughout the game. Here is another Syndra. Who is not playing Syndra, man?
Nobody. Nobody's not playing Syndra, I think is the answer.
Man.
What a game we have here. What a Teamfight Tactics. But it's a cool mascot for Jipo. And that's something that can win lobbies. So Jipo already setting himself up very nicely here.
Yeah, I think that's a great pickup here. I think you could, if you get any Eldritch Spat, it really opens up this board to get you to that 7 breakpoint really easy and possibly even 9. Or 10.
A 10.
Whatever the one is, that just makes it an auto win, basically.
Yeah, have you ever seen 10 Eldritch in action?
I think I saw a clip of it, not in my own games.
Okay, yeah. I've not seen it in any of the streams I've watched. I've not seen it in any of my games. And I wanted to kind of keep it as a surprise for myself, too. I'm like, I should look this up right now just to know. But I wanted to be a surprise and have that kind of hype if we do see it here at EWC. But maybe there's potential here for it.
That'd be the best. Absolutely the best. I would love that. We do see a fairly strong start here. This is clearly pivoting towards Kog'Maw with that strong artifact in the front line. One of the best performing ones so far in this set. And slamming as many items as possible to try to keep that HP up.
Yeah, definitely. Hull Crusher, 600 bonus HP if you're not adjacent to any allied units. Very, very strong in the front line early game with that adaptive as well. The Tristana's damage is rather lackluster, but it doesn't really matter as long as the front line just doesn't die, and that is the case here for Seongyo.
I think an interesting thing to note as well is slamming the adaptive rather than a Sojin and keeping that cloak open. It is maybe a decision that he might want back now seeing his spot because Sojin is so good on Kog'Maw. But, I trust these players that they know what they're doing. They're trying to keep their tempo as high as possible.
Yeah, there is a spat, however, so players that might be considering, Eldritch, like Jipo, putting himself in a good spot already.
Uh-oh.
Doesn't
and it's
have
on an
an
Ashe
open
as well.
belt. Oh, true, actually, yeah, even better. It's a one cost, but still, like, it's an Ashe, so that upgrade will be really good coming through.
Yeah, and I think that gives them access to a little bit. Oh, and finding a Syndra pair as well, which we know that is heavily contested in this lobby, so will be harder to find than normal. And we'll probably make 30 gold here, continue.
Yep.
I don't even know how they won 2 rounds, but they won 2 rounds. And we'll try to continue this loss streak here.
Hey, school mascot's OP, you know? That unit coming out there with just a Titans. You know, real big boy.
Yeah, clearly it was good enough to take a couple round wins here early. A lot of people playing slower here, trying to get maybe down towards that Radiant Blessing. That usually brings a lot of power.
Yeah, definitely a lot of power coming out. And the Tainted Golem, actually, that's the name of the first Eldritch unit that comes out. They actually have such like cool names. Like the 5 piece is the Dark Monolith, the 7 the Many-Eyed Beast, and 10 is the Stormbringer. Yeah, like that. Oh, I got chills.
So sick.
Actual chills.
Oh.
We need to see it.
I need it. Jipo, this is your job. Okay? This is all we want from this game. Your team can win, but I bet they will win if you get 10 Eldritch. So good luck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All that requires is you to get level 10 and have 3 spats, I think.
Yeah, just level 10 and 3 spats. Like no
Easy.
big deal, right? That's super easy, very, very achievable. Just need a Briar as well. But at that point, you're going level 10. You're finding a Briar. But yeah, definitely one of those chase traits that is very, very hard to hit. Things like 8 Witchcraft are a little easier, but those 10 pieces, man, they are kind of crazy.
Yeah, super easy. I'm sure he'll get it, and it'll be wonderful. We'll celebrate for sure. But as we're continuing to look through this game, a lot of our win streakers at the top. This will be a continued win streak and a continued loss streak for Team Na'Vi here. So good synergy happening, which is fantastic for them in this game. They really need to ramp up and take some of these top 4 spots away from T-Falcons this game. So good start.
Good team synergy, but bad augment synergy for Crazy Moving because, whoever had the Spoils of War going on a full loss streak, that is not really what you want to see because you don't really get any value out of that in stage 2, which generally gives you that early econ advantage, which propels you into a strong mid game, but just not getting any of that here.
Yeah, not quite hitting what they're looking for. And for Jipo here, hoping that they can get that belt that'll enable possibly even 7 Eldritch here on stage 3, which would be an excellent addition to this board. And for Ice and for Here We Go, we have lots of good streaks coming through from the entire lobby, and no belts coming through is quite sad.
No,
We won't be seeing it quite yet.
Unfortunate. Still can hit 5 Eldritch without too much trouble once a Mordekaiser is found. I already have the Ashe on the bench. I also love Hugify as a charm, by the way. I just think that like 1 gold for 500 HP on a frontliner feels very impactful in the early game.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree. That is going to make that at least much harder to kill. Not quite going to itemize it, but able to at least stall a little bit more for the Syndra.
Yeah, especially when it comes into like it being on a shapeshifter as well, just that extra HP. Getting that scaling is just even that much more powerful compared to other units with different traits. Oh, pyro
something on the
cast.
other side. Yeah, we have not seen too much. 5 pyro is quite powerful. Has definitely the opportunity to win lobbies if you can get there. If you're able to get that Varus 2, who we have not seen much of at all in this tournament so far.
Yeah, wow. Okay, Pyro Cassidy, that makes a lot of sense, right? The attack speed and kind of a substitute for that Rage Blade slot when Cassidy gets those takedowns. Gonna be getting so many embers to buff up that trait with the attack speed across the whole team, but we get a prismatic augment here for our 3-2 choice.
Let's go.
Okay.
We're doing it.
This is exactly what we need here. Like that's definitely the pick, right? Like, wait, or maybe not. No. Okay. I actually think this is fine and probably the correct move. It's not the hype play. It's not the like, okay, I'm going for that lobby win, but it is more consistent. Buried Treasure getting 6 components is just a bit too much power to pass up on. 7 Eldritch is perfectly fine with Skull Mascot. You don't need to chase something that you're just probably not going to get.
Yeah, and especially with nearly guaranteeing yourself a belt from Buried Treasures, it makes a little bit of sense that he'll get that Eldritch Dispatch anyways. That really just does open up that comp. And we see from Q2 on the other side taking Freaky Friday, which was previously a really strong augment, but we see the contention happening here already between the two sides with all of the Cassidans that Q2 does have.
Yeah, and just like you're saying, I think that augment was really valuable last set, less so here, because there's just not as many strong users of Infinity Force. Cassidon might be one of them, though, to justify that decision, so I do like that recognition a lot.
Yeah, we see Ice here with a lot of Kog'Maws already, which is a good spot for them as well as they're at the bottom of the leaderboard. And now with Rumble 2, a Gwen, if they choose to go with a Gwen. Just the roll down happening here, going pretty deep to try to find what they're looking for. Yep, we'll be popping that. Could you just get some free gold from there as well as maybe a couple upgrades?
It's pretty nice getting a bit of free gold, just like +4 at the end of the day.
Yep.
Getting a Lilia 2 upgrade.
Next.
Yeah.
Only 1 copy of Tristana, so clearly that is not the main plan for Ice here. The Tristana reroll will not be coming through alongside that. But it looks like just Kog'Maw and Nunu will be the game plan.
Yeah, we need 2 more Kog'Maws, 3 more Nunus, but Cassidon is kind of in the back line already. Where does he walk here? Okay, he does walk in the front line, but yeah, not for very long. Big shields there.
Realizes his job, turns around, walks back to the back line, deletes
so wait a minute, I'm an assassin. But like not really, but like kind of.
But like maybe, but also not.
Yeah.
We can keep our eye on Crazy Moving, who rolled all the way down and now has broken their loss streak. Started to turn it around, but has only 6 gold in the bank.
6 gold, Cassidon 1. Spoils of War not getting value. That's looking like an 8th.
Yeah, that's not too good.
Very bad, in fact, I would even go out on a limb to say. Extremely bad. Don't know if he can actually recover.
Yeah. That's a Cassidon 1, man, with no gold.
No gold, no healing. Yeah, let's just look away and not look at that. Jipo, however, does hit a Shojin. Slam a dual gauntlet as well as a 3rd Syndra item. I actually don't know if I like that coming out of Jipo here, because of the attack speed that is so good out of Rage Blade and out of like another attack speed item, like, you know, red buff even perhaps. But just wanted to slam what items that he had right now.
Yeah, definitely not ideal. We see Ice on the other side did hit that Kog'Maw 3 that they were looking for, but only has 10 gold left. Prismatic Ticket obviously being a big help in that. Thing is, for Jipo, not hitting that spatula that they need yet. They've waited so long in order to get this 5 Eldritch in, have not found the Mordekaiser, have not found the other things that they need, a belt from this Buried Treasures or anything to give them that spike.
I do think with that in mind, Jipo definitely should have at least considered rolling at 3-2 to find a single copy Mordekaiser, because getting the Dark Monolith, right, that 5-piece Eldritch online is much more powerful. Really, really big spike there, but instead going on a 5 loss streak, I don't think that's really what he wanted.
Yeah, and it's actually really funny to watch all of Team Falcons
Mord.
Little Legends show up on a board at the same time.
Yeah.
Anyway, super random thought. And still no belt from Buried Treasures is so unfortunate.
Oh, wait. Huh?
Oh.
Oh, I guess trying to secure the loss streak, but making it a good loss and then helping Syndra stack. I guess I see the value there. Wanting just that gold.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, he will probably take the loss here. But because that is a very, very tanky Blitzcrank on the other side that's going to be nearly impossible to kill.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see if Jipo can turn it around here in stage 4.
I think there's potential. If you hit a Nami, hit a belt, then that game will just turn right around, even winning this round, actually. Wow, okay. Maybe there was just a stronger... No, there's no way it's a stronger board than playing 5. Oh, wow. Okay, it's a Nami. Just ask and you will receive. Okay, and that component's going to be a belt? Okay, damn. I thought I could manifest it, but
You're
not
close.
quite.
You're close.
On the wolves, though, surely. Belt comes through.
Yeah. The good news, though, for that loss, though, is that Yogo was also on a loss streak, so does continue that 7 loss streak. And so the gold is in his pocket, not quite in Jipo's. So Jipo gets rewarded with that good shop. Now has 5 Eldritch in, and away 2 from that orb.
-1
and
gold.
no belt.
Wait, no belt? Alright, more dog. Oh,
No
still
belt.
no
Dude,
belt.
what is happening?
Oh no, we do get some good item slams for Nami. Shiv Rageblade, not bad. Would have loved like Shiv Shojin a little bit more, but yeah, no belt after all that is really a low roll. Having to wait until carousel. Yeah.
It's one of those things you're like, I have no clue how that is even possible. But you've seen so many components over the course of the game, and none of them are what you need. So it's quite unfortunate. We do know Crazy Moving did hit Casted in 2 finally, and now has kind of stabilized themselves a little bit, but did hit the Radiant Blessing, which I'm not quite sure what it is. I would imagine it was a bunch of gold that recovered their economy.
Yeah, might have been. Hopefully we were able to catch on another board who it was. We see another Gambo is played on a Syndra, and wow, it does in fact take the round win by just the narrowest of margins. Okay. Song Yup with Kog'Maw as well as Ice. I believe it's the other player trying to reroll that. Sport Golem.
Yeah. Support Golem is a great choice, is one of the strongest augments in the game. You Have My Bow is also quite good, but we'll be going to Support Golem. Not exactly what they're looking for. That will be a Tristana 3, so we'll be absolutely contesting Ice here, kind of out of nowhere. I did not see that one coming from the other side for Navi, but they're continuing on that win streak. And look, still no belt.
Still no belt.
Item grab bag.
Bro. Yeah, that is such a low roll. Has a Reforger. Surely the Reforger will hit a belt, right? Right?
Do it. I mean, what are the odds? I need someone to run the math on this. How is this possible?
Oh, God. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
That would be interesting to see. I would say probably just like slams. Yeah, tank items here. Maybe Reforges a bow or red buff on the Nami. Okay, yeah.
Do it. Oh,
Reforges. Wow. Reforges the sword. But still, no belt. I'm mad for Jipo here.
like, what are you supposed to do? I don't know.
Nothing.
Enables 7 Eldritch. It really helps his. Anyway, it's just what it is for him this game.
I'm gonna sell back up to at least 10 econ there, it seems.
And this is not looking great for Team Navi again. 3 of them at the bottom of the leaderboard in stage 4. They are all lose streaking, all 3 of them at the bottom. And it's looking like Susanyo will continue that streak at the top, but we know that Kog'Maw board is not one that we've seen win many games. And so we're hoping that some of these other players can turn it around.
Yeah, I actually don't know if I've ever seen that like really dominantly win a lobby unless everyone else was like giga low rolling, to be honest.
Man,
Oh, I was like,
reinforcement.
yeah, but not hitting.
Not hitting anything. Looking for clearly a Vanguard. Clearly just looking for that Tom Kench. And
I guess,
nothing for
or
here we go.
Karma, maybe as well could be the other
Oh,
option.
Karma, yeah. Yeah, and then you can play the mage variant with Vanguard.
Yeah,
Yeah, so happy with either of those options, but hasn't found either.
that's rough. G-post.
G-post. That's huge for G-Po though to take this win.
Definitely big. I mean, they have a lot of items, right? Like there's so much board strength in terms of itemizing multiple carries. The front line, right, having a lot of items too. Okay.
Belt.
Yes. Neither Eagle or Crazy Moving should take this belt. Yeah. Okay.
And we'll
G-Po
get it.
gets it.
Let's go.
Here we go.
We made it.
I would have actually been so furious if they like didn't talk about that somehow and one of them stole the belt. I would have had to walk away. I wouldn't have been able to take that.
It would have been bad for sure.
That didn't
no
happen though,
coming
so we get to live on the bright side of things here.
Yeah.
Oh, but not for Crazy Moving though.
Oh yeah, there's no bright side for this board. It is looking quite deadly here. Not even a pair of these Callistas with not great items either. It is quite scary.
Temporary TG. That's pretty cool.
Onto an Akali 2 is pretty good. They have that Keepers 2 with lots and lots of shielding coming through, but with 3 HP, already on a 5 loss streak, now facing some golden units on the other side. It's looking doomed.
I guess just one golden unit. It was just that big, strong. Oh, sorry, two. The big, strong Nunu, and then the Kog'Maw. But Kog'Maw's not fully itemized yet, so actually, the Kassadin tore through it pretty easily. Just has to get into the back line now, but no, doesn't. However, there might be still enough multi-strikers left alive, and there is for Crazy Moving to hang on just another round.
We definitely take that win there. It does keep them alive in this game. I still have not seen what the Radiant Blessing is in this game. And it clearly is not something that is incredibly impactful in this game. But for Yuggle here, this board looks fairly good. Has 2 super tanks and will continue to try their best to get them back in this game. And it looks like for Here We Go that they're in not a great spot to get a top 4. So that's what they're really hoping for if you're Na'Vi. Get Here We Go down to 8th place if possible, and then you have a chance in this game.
Yeah, definitely. It is still very winnable, even though the HP doesn't look too favorable for Na'Vi right now.
And on the other side, we have that 3-star Tristana. This is Na'Vi versus Na'Vi. Violence happening here, and I am concerned that this will knock out Crazy Moving in 8th place. This Tristana does massive amounts of damage, and as that QSS wears off, it might get knocked back. Yeah, and I believe that will be lights out for Crazy Moving in this game.
Crazy Moving taking the 8th. We kind of foresaw that one coming. However, unfortunately, as that 3-2 roll down was just abysmal, right? Rolled down to sub 10 gold. Did not find the Kassadin 2. Means there's no way you're ever going to Kassadin 3. Narrowly just didn't hit that Akali 3. But yeah, 8th place is about what we expected there.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a very, very doomed spot from the start. Ice really hoping to get that last Whisper or some kind of other crit-based item, maybe that Guard Breaker onto this Kog'Maw so that it just absolutely blows up the enemy team. Some more frontline items coming through, and there is that last Whisper ready to level up and continue to push this board, hopefully into the top 4 for Ice.
Yeah, we'll see. Rolling down a bit more. Seeing if we can get perhaps Rumble 3 upgrade or maybe Blitzcrank. Oh yeah, it isn't leveling up. I mean, level 7 is where this board does kind of have a strong, very strong cap. Trying to find the Jinx as well. Wow, managed it. That was so many Jinxes and so few rolls. But, oh, the items for Jinx, though, are not going to be good.
No, not able to find anything of value, really. Maybe just some healing coming through. from a Hextech Gunblade, but that is not, you know, ideal at all. That doesn't really increase damage that much. It's also interesting to keep an eye on this board because we have 0 Tristanas, which is usually the 7th unit on this board, but instead we're playing Arcana variant, which seems to be doing all right, but you see where all the Tristanas are, they're on the opposing board.
Yeah, I guess that's why we're not going quite in that same variant. There's already so many out of the pool. Granted, there are many copies with the bag size changes, but I think this is working out decently enough.
And for Yogel here, really just trying to claim on to whatever they can to continue to streak. Now getting that Karma too, which is a pretty good upgrade here. But for Jipo, knowing that they have that 4-win streak and really need to continue to win with that 7 Eldritch.
Yeah, hey, 7 Eldritch online. We've reached it. We have 6 Syndras total, a pair of Karmas, pair of Namis as well. Jipo could have rolled here more, but thinks perhaps that they're strong enough to regain some of that econ.
Wow, and here we go, has finally hit something of value on that board as well. It looks like with that Syndra 2 and now with a lot of other upgrades, the Tom Kench 2, the Nami 2 as well, with the Galio 3 in that front line that is so incredibly tanky that this board is looking quite better. But wow, this Volibear has something else to say about it.
Ooh.
School mascot is so good.
It is still a close round at the end of it there. Just a few backliners left and they were half HP at best.
Oh,
okay, we get to see the blessing.
Yeah, not
components much. And then a 5 cost. Okay, yeah, not something super impactful, but you are going to be able to outfit another unit on your board just a little bit easier. Get a little bit more gold to improve your board here. And for Xiaocha, yeah, it's pretty strong.
Yeah, I do want to look at the right side of the screen and seeing that we are currently split up very evenly as a team. But with Navi securing that 8th place, they really need to send out Here We Go here in order to increase their chances. And this is looking quite good for them. This Tristana 3 is very strong, can displace units that come close to her. But can we get through this Galio with some sense of urgency before the other units on Here We Go's board ramps up? And it does not look like that is the case. That is a very big win for Here We Go and a huge loss for Team Navi.
Yeah, huge loss for Navi. Here We Go coming up big in that round. Ugul dropping to single-digit HP. Just 3. Now it could be 8th and 7th for Team Navi, meaning they will, if that happens, need a 1st and a 2nd place finish.
It is Jipo is clearly establishing themselves as one of the best players in this lobby, but without the rest of the team able to help out, it's not looking too good.
Yeah, that is actually a great call out. Jipo last game with the 8 Witchcraft, getting that lobby win. Jipo this time around looking very strong. That 6 win streak currently.
Yeah, going to be quite a challenge for Navi to overcome this. Yogel needs to really put it together and get themselves into a spot where they can try to top 4 and save this for their team.
Yeah, definitely. The front line, very good. That Radiant Steadfast Heart for Tom Kench, the 4 Vanguards online. The upgrades in the back line, not the best items, however, for the Karma and the Syndra. Some last-second swaps, though. Is it going to be enough? Because this is such a strong Kog'Maw board.
Yeah, now with that Blitzcrank 3 as well, and 1 off that Rumble 3, this board is not done getting stronger. The Kog'Maw trying its best with perfect items to get through that front line, and will get through the Tom Kench eventually. But now the Syndra onto some of the rest of this front line, but there's just too many big health bars to get through.
Yeah, way too many. Ugol gonna be going out here, but is it lower than Here We Go? Because Here We Go dropped as well.
Oh.
Yes, it is CLE, and I'm not sure that Navi is gonna be able to bring this one back with Songyo on a 4-loss streak. This board is just not looking powerful enough. We have a few more rolls to go. We get a good charm there with that 2-second stun on everybody. But still on a Tom Kench 1, still on a Karma 1, Nami 1, Zareth 1. Oof. I don't think this is going to be enough.
and they have to go 1-2 in order to bring it back and win this game, and that was looking like an impossible task, especially with boards like Xiaogu's board that is level 9 and looking to continue to get stronger, using their HP that they have left in order to improve this board, but also getting through any of these re-rollers that are having that problem. Jipo may pull out that top spot once again, but it does not matter because Sasang Yo is out in bot 4 also.
Oh no, Sangyo is out, and that will do it for Team Falcons in this series. Gonna be claiming the win there. Hard fought by Na'Vi, and for, you know, Jipo specifically, the rest of the team definitely has to get it together for that lose bracket run. Yeah, we see smiles and laughs as well from Team Falcons. They're feeling good. They know they claimed the victory.
As they should. This is the dominating performance that we kind of expected from them. I would like to call out that Here We Go, who is probably one of the favorites on this Chinese team, was the only member of his team to bot 4 and did do it twice. And so I'm sure that they're giving him a little bit of a hard time over there, saying, bro, come on, you're so heavy. Let's go.
He's like, no, I griefed them. I was holding units. No, I trust, I swear.
Teamwork,
I don't know about that one. Yeah, teamwork. It's team game here.
Helping them out for sure. And bad news is that Jipo did take a loss also, and so has now shown that they can't just keep winning throughout the game, but that this mascot isn't quite strong enough to streak them all the way through.
Yeah, the mascot can't cheer that hard enough, unfortunately, although it is big and it looks very strong. See if it wins actually against this matchup here. I'm very curious. That's a huge entrance there. A lot of CC. Gonna be on the back line here soon. Yeah, I think it's a Jipo win in this fight.
Yeah, that's a lot of CC coming through with the Nami wave right after the entrance of the mascot as well. Ice will drop out in 4th place here. There's a lot of damage, and so Jipo still has the hope alive of going back-to-back first places.
The hope is alive. Ice dropping. Jipo's still 17 HP. They got a couple lives remaining, unless it's a big loss. Got Vex in there for the Chrono alongside the Mage.
If we're able to get, that's a huge upgrade. That Nami 2 is great. Getting that charm as well. If we find this Syndra 3, that would be excellent and possibly put them in a spot where they can win that game.
Yeah, only 20% odds to roll 2 costs at level 9, but it is still possible. Gonna be able to sell up to at least 10 gold here, get 20 the next round. It is doable. Going up in this round against the Syndra Karma board over there.
Yeah, less of a group from this team comp, and I think that will prove to be a challenge for this board as some more CC is coming through, and as the school mascot falls down, so will Navi's last hope. Oh, just kidding. 1 HP left in the pocket here for Jipo, able to get that one last final stand in order to try to get that top spot.
1 HP in a dream. Ooh, could actually hit the Syndra upgrade. Did take Yordle Spirit, which I think is a very good even late game charm to take, right? 3 seconds of kind of invulnerability from auto attacks. Pretty solid. Should sell the Vex to roll one more time. It's not gonna do that though.
Didn't roll for the boys, and so not quite able to get that last copy. That is a 3-star Hecarim on the other side as well. Wow, this board is quite scary. Lots and lots of upgrades. I believe that's 5 Pyro or 4 Pyro as well, which is just so much attack speed and damage, and that proves to be very obvious here. That school mascot did so much damage there, but it wasn't enough.
No, Jipu falling. Team Falcons going 1, 2, 4, and 6 in this matchup. Very dominant, the most dominant matchup that we've seen so far here today. So really huge props to them.
The most dominant matchup, period, really. I mean, our first match on this broadcast, Geek versus Branching Out, was a 2-0. But this one was a very dominant 2-0. Clearly, it looked like Team Falcons was in control most of the time, other than Jipo being an absolute beast, trying to put the team on his back. Yeah,
really shout out to Jipo, though, playing 2 phenomenal games here. If it was just a solo tournament, right, that would have been a very solid couple of games to start the day, but it is not, right? It is a team event, and so we have to always have that in mind. Also, I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually go for Hecarim 3. It honestly feels like the unit does nothing. It's just a trait bot. But it's kind of putting in work here.
It does have really, really good traits and also long distance pals between them. So it's trying its best to carry from the opposite corner of this Kassadin. And that is a massive cast from the Xerath and will wipe out a lot of the backline. But the the Kassadin's doing the exact same. Not quite enough, though. Looks like Zhao Ge will continue that win streak and maybe challenge their teammate for the top spot.
Yeah, this is such a creative board here. I really, really love seeing this kind of stuff with 5 Pyro, 5 multis. Okay, going to be swapping some items over as well here. Going to be giving Hecarim, I believe, yeah, more tankiness here.
Oh,
But
yes.
Camille is the proud new owner now of that Archangels. So maybe a little bit stronger, and that could be the difference here.
Yeah, we might be pairing some different units here for long distance pals as well. I believe it's between the Callista and the Hecarim now, which is a little bit more attack speed, at least for this Hecarim. Hopefully that makes a difference. The Hecarim does walk into the back line straight onto the Xerath, which turns around because of Edge of Night. But the items, wow, that Xerath did so much damage, and Kitu will fall out there. All smiles.
All smiles, thumbs up. Team Falcons with their